Hi everyone! I am so excited today because I finally get to do my favorite type of video, which is just a chatty get ready with me. But I'm hoping to work something cool in at the end that'll make it a little bit more also makeup-y. But if anyone's looking for a short video or just something quick, this is not it. This is a mix of like personal life, skincare questions, and me being in a fucking good mood because it is sunny AF today and I am finally done with my quarantine and I can go and actually go outside and meet my friends, and we are hopefully me and my two friends, my two best girlfriends in London, are hopefully meeting for some Creole food, New Orleans inspired, in King's Cross, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, King's Cross. So the initial plan for the day was to go out to Selfridges and treat myself to some makeup, because if any of you saw my Instagram TV, I did a 5-hour straight makeup organization last night, and I was just like, I'm gonna treat myself after this. I deserve this. But the last thing I wanted to do after all of that was to go buy more makeup. I did, however, spend over £50 on organizational stuff, and that is the dream. That is I just looked at my hair. I am waiting for it to dry, which is perpetually where I am in life, just waiting for my hair to dry. I don't think I've seen my actually 100% dry hair since I was about yay high. But yeah, we are just gonna march on ahead with it. I just want to say a quick moment to say thank you to everyone who sent in your questions, and it was really fun for me to read them, and I'm gonna try and get through the bulk of them. But if I can't, that just means I'm gonna shoot another one. As for the background, these two are really cool prints done by my friend Isabel, who used to live with me for a year. Those be my suitcases, and whatever I'm in front of is a friggin' mess, so don't judge. Lastly, before I begin, I just want to give a quick non-sponsored shout out to the outfit I'm currently wearing. Well, it's actually PJs, personalized, saying inhale, exhale, and they are by my friend Zoya, and she's also known as Sneha. I think the name of her collection, I know the name of her collection is Azeen by Zoya, and they've started doing loungewear, and it's really cute, it's really comfortable. I highly recommend. And my one is a long night shirt, and it says Inaya in the back. So with all of that done, I'm very excited, and we're gonna dive right into the DMs. So the first DM comes by way of Anika, who asks, well, I'm gonna paraphrase what she asked because she asked it in a not so nice way to herself, but she was asking, how can you hide really big pores if you have them? The first thing I wanna say is pores are normal, pores are fine, texture is normal. In fact, here, let's do this, right? Everyone has shit, but I know you, and you're like, yeah, I know Inaya, and I know society has unrealistic expectations of women, and that is what I'm currently trying to fulfill. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna say the kind of primer that you're looking for is something that would actually fill out the pores itself. So let me just start with a very quick technical thing. Primer is actually something you apply on walls so that the paint adheres better. Within makeup, it works in the same way, where it would give you an even texture so that the paint or foundation would stick better. So the reason that I wouldn't normally suggest primer, which is silicone based, is because it would block your pores if you're looking for like daily wear. However, for occasion wear, for your specific issue where you're thinking, how can I, make it all even, I would recommend highly silica based primers. So for that, we have something like the Smashbox photo finish primers, and just look at the ingredient list. If silica is pretty high up there, then you know that it's going to do that job of filling it in. The other cheat that I want to kind of tell you, and I know that you're inshallah heading off to America soon to start married life with your husband. Once you get there, you march yourself to a CVS or Walgreens and you go to the intimate care section, because the most silicone based product that you can find that is safe to use on skin is actually something called the Monistat Anti-Chafing Primer Gel. Chafing what, you ask? Why, your inner thighs in a Californian summer, of course. So the idea is this was developed so that when you're walking and the inner thighs rub together, it's that friction that it shouldn't create because they'll just glide past each other. And lo and behold, the makeup industry discovered it, the same that they discovered aftershave for mattifying, and it became a primer. So those are my top 2 suggestions. And I would say personally, girl, if you can get it, get the Monistat because it is more heavy duty. It is about 15 pounds less expensive. In America, maybe like $20. Well, generally the Monistat used to cost around $11 to $12, and the Smashbox finish would be around anywhere between the 25 to 30 mark. So already as I'm smoothing this on, I can feel it really sinking into the areas where I would usually feel like I picked the crap out of this last night, and I can feel it just smoothing it over, lying to the world. I might just turn on the light so that you can see the makeup part of this clearly, but I do like, or actually I might not, I do like filming in daylight, and it is what Anna says. Right, so how have I been spending this time in quarantine? I've obviously been cleaning, and the band's flat, so as tidy as my husband is, it's just not, you know, and I needed to be, and so I did that. In this time, I also started discovering the Millennial Ma, which is a blogger from Bangladesh. Well, she's originally from Bangladesh. She's now living in the UK. And if you haven't heard about her yet, if you haven't heard about her yet, you should really check her out because she is hilarious. She is such a good representation for Bangladesh, I feel, both home and abroad. And honestly, her posts give me joy, they give me realness, they give me book recommendations, they give me wonder that how this woman is managing a job, a life, a toddler, and everything in a place like between I think London and Southampton. And I'm inspired by her realness and just everything about her. I think she's absolutely wonderful. And if any of you have the pleasure of knowing her in real life, tell her I am a huge fan. I'm not going into too much detail about the products and stuff today because you've honestly seen me do this quite a lot of times. And this is really more about chatting. Actually, on second thought, I will turn on this because that way you can kind of see what I'm doing. I will turn down the intensity though. Okay, here we go. My favorite mark base. Right. What I'm using is my favorite Shiseido spots cover in the color S101, which does a perfect job of blending in marks and feeling really nice and soft on the skin actually. And this is one of those products, maybe because it's Japanese, I just feel like it's been based around skincare. And it's never aggravated my skin, and it's so emollient and moisturizing. And I mean, Shiseido is known for its fabulous skincare. I think they've made something here that is truly worth having. Little spot there from dehydration. Hello. It's because me and Jamie went to watch Tenet in this amazing socially distanced cinema, and yeah, a bit cheeky, I know. Don't tell the gov. Please don't tell the gov. And well, basically, they brought us over a bottle of Prosecco at our couch, and I, like I said, still have that weak stomach, but I was like, you know what? This seems perfect. This is like what it's for. It'll be like an Inception type film, and it'd be more fun to watch with a glass of bubbly or two. It definitely was. The next day wasn't, and then this little guy happened. So that's that. You've all seen this before. I'm just gonna go quickly over this with a concealer brush. And then I am going to move on to the next set of questions. Okay, so these next set of questions are heartbreaking because they are by the one and only Irfan fucking Mahmood, who has to make people like do Sophie's Choice on a daily basis. But you know what? I see you. I see your move. I'll play along. The first question that he asked me is, Ira or Samrana? Now he gave me the like outright answer of like, you know, the only right answer is me, which I wish I could go with. And just spoiler alert, I'm obviously not going to choose. What I will do is list my favorite qualities of 3 of them. I think Iramapu is one of the most like kind, dedicated, loyal, like just fiercely loyal. She's like a she's like before J.K. Rowling went crazy, she's like a J.K. Rowling character where she's a Gryffindor. You can count on her. She's loyal, she's true-blooded, she's good to the core, and I absolutely love her. Simran, on the other hand, is Ravenclaw, like 100% Ravenclaw, and I just think it's amazing the fact that she's so focused and dedicated and disciplined, but yet still finds time in her life for everyone. Where I've seen the amount of effort this girl has put into like studies mainly in her life, but I can see it like translating into business or work or whatever she does. But she doesn't make you feel forgotten. She will allot her time in a way that even I aspire to, where all of her priorities are met, but she definitely makes you feel like a priority. Now, as for like my relation, so I would just describe it like this. Samrana is one of the first people that I go to for advice, whereas Iramapu is my first stop for like counseling. So with Samrana, it's kind of like, okay, this happened. What do I do? With Iramapu, it's like, this happened. What do I do? And that is a very visual description of the two differences I have with my sister, but with all of them, I have a ball of a time, and I'm so excited because they're actually going to be here soon, and I'm just really excited for it. Okay, this one I'll go into a little bit in depth, and also fuck your fun. I'm just going to go a little bit in depth because you haven't seen me use this technique before, which is a sponge. I'm going to squeeze a bit of my favorite foundation, which is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. I'll say it again, it was my wedding day foundation. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and I'm just going to show you a new technique. So the technique would be to use the beauty blender and just pop a splodge in it, right? About this much. And go over the areas where you feel you need coverage. Now, the thing is with foundation, I don't know if the video has come out yet, but I'll always say foundation, maybe this is going to be my signature line, but concealer hides, foundation unifies. So with a thick layer of concealer on, I'm just going to move into foundation. And can I just say, guys, I love the setup so much. Jamie gets his space in his computer room, and I get like a mirror here. I've just set up everything yesterday, and I can like do everything at my pace. Lighting's good. I'm sat right next to a very big window. So I am in a very happy zone right now. And I'm just going to move on to Irfan's next question. So Irfan's next question, not really anything shocking here, but is another heartbreaker. He's asked me to choose between London or Dhaka. Now with this one, I thought long and hard, and it's just like, that's like asking you to choose between like your lungs and your kidneys. I know you have two, but it's because they're both so important. You need them both. And I mean like one of each set, if that makes any sense. So, I mean, if pressed, no, you can't press me. Screw this. But I really, oof. But I suppose I'd have to say Dhaka, isn't it? Bangladeshi at heart. That's the truth. That's the truth. Take my goddamn kidney, Irfan. I was hoping that I would finally do it, give it to you after your wedding in need of a transfusion. But you took it now, bitch. And that's my answer. And that is me. Blended. Again, light and nice and just glowy. If I need to go over again, I'll go over at the end because I can't be bothered right now. Right, with that, the next question that I have finally from Irfan, and this is a very good one, and I think he asked me, and we have had the chance and the opportunity to be lucky enough to see the world together. We've camped together in the Sahara Desert. We have trekked across the Utah, and we've like done Japan together, and this is where my favorite memory comes from. At the time I was living in Japan, and you know, just it was definitely a tough time, which might surprise people, or people are always like, oh, that must have been amazing. It was, but it wasn't that it wasn't difficult, you know. I think part of the reasons that I really liked it is it made me into who I am. I feel like Inaya 2.0 came out of Japan, so there, Japan, that's another tech update that goes on you. I definitely came out stronger and better. But this is going back to one of my weaker moments, and Irfan had just come, as he always does, at the right time into my life, and we had gone to see Yokohama, which is a city near Tokyo, and we wanted to go to a beach there. Of course, it was jellyfish season. Of course, you can anticipate what happened, but before the tentacled attack, we had this moment where we'd like, you know, we were asking, like, we really like playing like personality games and finding out more about each other, and it was like rapid fire, yeah, kind of like the way I normally speak. And we were just asking question after question, like, oh, this or that, this or this, who would you pick, what would you rather, blah blah blah. And then like my rapid fire to him was like, if you could have one thing of my father's, what would it be? And without hesitation and in heart, like in the blink of an eye, he says his daughters, of course. And I think that answer just humbled me and chilled me to my bone and just warmed me up. And every time that thought comes up, it still warms me up all over again, that Irfan would so readily choose from whatever my father has been blessed with, that he would just so readily choose that the family that he has. So I'm not doing waterproof makeup, so I'm not going to talk about this too much, but that is my favorite memory with Irfan. With Irfan's slightly harder questions answered, I will be moving on to the skincare and makeup questions, which Alex has asked. And I'm actually going to do the look today kind of inspired by her and the makeup looks I create on her. Essentially what that means for everybody else is going to be easy. It's going to be very easy to do. And it's going to start with the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerise pot in the color Mona Lisa, which is like a lovely shimmery taupe. Now, the reason why I like this and eyeshadows like this are because it is just so simple. And whoop, got a bit excited and ahead of myself. So you just tap it on. Tap, 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 tap. Work quickly because they do dry, not unreasonably fast, but in a way that it will stay on for a long time. I'll also moisturize my lips. And there we go. It is simply just fanning it out with the tip of your, I'm using my middle finger, you could use your ring. They say that's the best one because it is the weakest finger that you have and it will not stretch out your eyelids. Okay. Now I'm gonna quickly do the other eye off camera. Right, so that's both eyes roughly done. I'm also going to show you how to go over any of the finer edging. First of all, just swipe up there if you want that cat eye shape, and how to blend into the crease. And I'm going to get into Alex's first makeup related question, which is, how do I stop my eyeliner from smearing? Now, there are two types of smears. There's one that runs down from your lower eyelashes and it's more like the creasing that you might get or a bit of fallout. But I think the one that she's referring to is when you open your eyes, especially because she has very wide open eyes, and your eyelash here would touch the crease right here. Now, there are multiple ways around this. There is, you could first of all use something, and I would say this is the easiest one. You could use the Huda Beauty Lifelast liner. You could use the creamy eyeliner part, because as it goes, it kind of sets. I think I will use that today to show you how it's done. The other way that you could do it, if you have any cream liner, is once you put it on, you put on a black eyeshadow, like pat it on top of it so that it stays, so that the powder stops it from moving around. Finally, there's liquid liner. I mean, that should stop it unless you have really oily eyelids. So there's that. And the other alternative, instead of using a creamy liner, would be to use a gel liner. That should set in place. The Maybelline like little black pot is fine. And if not, then you just, again, liner and then the powder on top of it. So there's three. Huda Beauty, gel plus powder, or just gel, or creamy liner with a black powder, setting it on top. Right, now I'm going to move on to why is it that you don't have to be too perfect about this, is because you're just going to go through the crease, right? I'm going to use the color, these last two, and Fuego and Ashes, or a mix of these, and mainly focusing on Ashes and Fuego a little bit, just to get that purple kind of running through. It's been really interesting quarantine, because now with face masks in season, my previous guilty pleasure was definitely eyeshadows, but marketing works for a reason, and it's because, well, this is the only part of your face that is visible right now. I don't know how many lipsticks is going to stop me from buying, but it is at the same time, you know, I mean, it is causing me to branch out into eyeshadows a bit more. But the next question we have, again, is eyeliner related, and it's to do with the fact that, is it harmful to put any eyeliner on the inner rim of your eyes. So traditionally, being Bengali and everything, I have grown up with the notion of kajal, or kajal as Europeans and Westerners might call it. And the thing is, I don't think there is anything wrong with it, because you've seen it used through the centuries. I would say the main thing with makeup is, at the end of the day, I mean, it's not even eyeliner. We're putting in things that are more toxic, which is like such as eyeliner glue, so on and so forth. The trick is really to make sure that you clean well at the end of the night, which is my preferred method for very, very heavy duty makeup, is to use an oil-based cleanser. Something like the Emma Hardy cleansing balm or any of its drugstore dupes are fine, because it really gets in there, and as you massage, it makes sure that it removes every type, any kind of makeup that you have on, really. And I personally am a fan of the double cleanse, where you would do away with all the makeup and the debris of the day with your oil-based makeup remover, and then you would just wash your face with the face wash as normal. I think that's what I would really recommend, and I would say that there's nothing to worry about. So over here, once I turn off the light, you might see that there's actually quite a fine gradient happening, right? It's a little less intense than you might think, but there's a little bit of that shimmer coming through. Just gonna switch the light back on, which is kind of lost when you see it. I see why now they say that filming in natural daylight is best, because you actually get a more, you know, realistic effect of how it might look. So I'm going to quickly show you the Huda Beauty Lifelast liner as well. This comes with two ends. There's the liquid eyeliner. Personally, I find this a little bit tricky to use, especially for beginners. But then there's the other end, which is the pencil liner, standard eyeliner. It's a little bit less creamy than the ones you might usually find. So I'm going to work quickly here, right? And I'm just going to get some definition on. That's another thing you can do here, Alex, which is just do one eye at a time. Blend it out as you go. I'm just doing this for your sake, because really what I'll be wearing today is a cat eyeliner, but all of you have seen me do that, so I'm probably just going to speed up that part for anyone who's not, you know, for anyone who's seen it. Yeah, so that right there, it's a bit of a smoky way to get a thing. I'm gonna get really close, right? You just get into the roots of the lashes, stretching it out, aging my skin, but there we go. And that finger just will smudge it in. Now you can keep going as deep as you want it to. Again, I'm going to turn off the makeup, the mirror light, so you can see how that looks. Oops. Come on, normalize. And then I'm just going to jump in with my liquid liner. Feel free to like skip this part or leave it there if you want. Or there are so many things you can do. You could go in there with the darker color, again, like in Fuego or Ashes, and really smoke it out, and you don't even need to have a visible eyeliner. But hopefully there's something I'm planning to do at the end of this tutorial, and if that works out, it would be better if I have worked with a cat eye throughout the thing. Right, next question. Alex again. She says, skincare routine. Do you have to change up your makeup routine every season? Your skincare routine every season? Quick answer, yes, if you want to make the companies you're buying from richer. Now, why I say that, I'll tell you once I'm done doing my eyes. Hi, so I thought I'd switch up the kind of way that I was filming so you can kind of see what's happening better, including my genius way of drying my hair, which is putting it into a bun. And I actually kind of do this while getting ready, and I put some volumizing mousse while my hair is like 80% dry and tied up into some buns, and there's the second one, so that once my makeup is done and I take it out, you'll hopefully see some easy, effortless curls, or at least a bit more of like volume, which I like doing. But getting back into it, Alex's question on should I change up my skincare depending on the season? Yes, but what you really need to do is listen to your skin, and that is regardless of season. I think a lot of times, especially with marketing, there's all this pushing that, oh, you need to buy this, you need to buy that. If we thought about our skin as it should be, which is an organ, do you over obsess about any other part of your organs? Well, maybe perhaps your liver or whatever, given your given anyone's lifestyle, not yours. But it's just that see what it's asking for first. You know, as winter is approaching, you don't need to get all the nourishing balms, all the different types of exfoliators, serums, so on and so forth. First, see what your skin needs. I can guarantee you that if there is an issue that arises, you will be able to fix it within the given amount of time of like ordering a product, understanding what it's about. And if it's any more serious than that, then you should probably be seeing a doctor in the first place. Having said that, I would like to say that at the start of season, let's just divide it into summer and winter for ease, okay? So for winter, what I would say is definitely a more nourishing balm at the end of the day. Something even as cheap as the Well-It Skin Food is absolutely amazing because it sinks into your skin overnight. It gives it all the hydration it needs, and it's a lot better. I would also advise the same for a lip balm. So one thing I recently recommended to a friend of mine who suffered with drier and drier lips, A, because she liked matte lips, B, because it's getting colder, would be to make the easiest at-home honey or olive oil, like ideally honey and brown sugar balm, and just rub that over your lips, even a slightly damp towel, and then you put on something super moisturizing. Well-It Skin Food Balm, the Amberlisse cream, and the idea is that will replenish it, hydrate it, plump it up, and kind of like a sweater to protect it, to seal it all in. Then you can use something with a petroleum jelly product, which is like, you know, Vaseline or the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream. Because what petroleum does is it doesn't moisturize by itself. What it does is it creates a really thick film that stops moisture from escaping. So those would be my generic, almost everyone can adhere to tips, because I don't want to get too specific about it because everybody's skin is different, but there shall be a follow-up video explaining exactly what to do in those situations. Right, so with question answers basically done, this is the product that has been a game changer for me, and I've been wanting to introduce it, and I have to like friends and family, but I kind of want to show you exactly why I call it a game changer. If you've realized anything about my makeup style by now, is I don't like faff. I don't like anything that'll make me uncomfortable. I'll only do things that have kind of, you know, worked for me, and false lashes has never been one of them. I found them finicky, I found them hard to fit. I just don't think that they're worth the effort most of the times. So luckily someone out there knows that there's a lazy po body like me, and it's just thinking, okay, how do we simplify it? How do we get more money out of this person? But mate, take my money. Because I bought this from Amazon, and these are magnetic eyelashes, and they're around I think it was £11 for 5 pairs, one of which I've already lost because patience is not my strong suit. And it comes with, by the way, just ignore that. I know it might not even be bothering you, might not have noticed it, but now that I've pointed it out, that's just my ironing board, and we live in a 1-bedroom apartment between the two of us, and just deal with it. Okay, back to the lashes. This is what you get. You get 5 styles of lashes. That one was my mistake. You get the magnetic glue. You get something to apply the lashes with. However, I have personally not found this necessary because it is simply so useful. Now, before beginning it, I'd like to go into some tips about how you can wear it. I think it really, really helps to already have a liquid liner on, because unfortunately the glue that it comes with, although it applies like a liquid liner, it is black, which means that there is less room for mistakes. So I'm just going to show you how this works. You take it out, you've got a fine nib here, right? and you would place it as close to the lash line as possible, so that's where it stays. In fact, if you don't do it that way, you could manipulate your eye shape in any way you want. I know a lot of people have been doing fox eyes and making it attached to the wing rather than the lash line, but personally that's a bit of, well, that's a whole kettle of fish and everything, and I don't want to get into it. And also, this is just the most user-friendly basic way of doing it. I'm gonna do it looking into this mirror, but you'll see that it's quite simple. Let me move you in, sorry, a bit more so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Right here, I'm just going into the lash line itself. Right, I'm gonna go very deep in because I have very curved eyes and I want it to properly stick. So that's on, you can't tell because I've already done the eyeliner over it, but just quickly doing the other eye. I say quickly because I actually want to show you how quick it is. It has suddenly gone from, like, you know, the part of the makeup routine I would never do to like, oh, this is the quickest part of it now, you know? So just a bit more in the inner corner because I find it pings off from there. Right. There's also the eyeshadow look I was talking about. It is even nicer in real life, but you know, I like to keep it natural, especially when you're going with something for like falsies. The idea is that you wait until it's slightly tacky. I can feel it beginning to get slightly tacky on my eye, especially this one. So I'm going to choose a look that is natural, but at least you can see the difference. Right. Now, the last question asked by Alex verbatim was, the fuck is baking? So, I'm going to show you what baking is. It is literally what it sounds like. I think Huda Beauty can be at least accredited with popularizing it. It is where you pat down your makeup with a lot of powder to make sure that it stays in place. Now, personally, it's not my favorite technique because I think it can look a little heavy and unnatural if not done right. However, I'm going to show you one side of how I would traditionally set and one side of the baking set. So the first thing you take is a slightly damp, not chewed out beauty blender, but if that's what you have, that's what you have. I am taking the Vichy Derma Blend powder in translucent, and I am just picking up a bit of the product and going into the areas where I would need to set. The idea is that you heavily apply and you leave it as is, so that as you do your makeup and the other stuff, let's say your lipstick, your whatever else that is needed to, then this thing will just really finely set whatever you have. Personally, I find it gives a bit of a grayish cast, but hey, anything in the name of research, right? This is how I would traditionally do it. Just a little powder puff, comes with it, comes with the thing. I would squeeze it into a C shape to get a bit more coverage and control, fairy dust, and I would just go over this. I just do think that the baking is a bit more faff, right? And I would powder it as I go, and you would be done. The other side, so that's it, going to be baking for a while. I'm going to do my lipstick. I'm maybe going to refill my brows. I'm going to see if any place needs a concealer touch up, and then brush away the excess. And I will report back in if I found any difference between efficacy and which one I preferred. All right, Alex, we've let this bake for now 15-20 minutes. I took a lipstick that took very long to apply in case I made any mistakes, so that I gave it even more time. If anyone wants to know, it's the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in the color Vino. Right, so this is the side that I had patted down with powder, also just added in a bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk liner, and this is the side that we've let it do its kind of thing. Now, when it comes to the brush, I don't think it really makes a massive difference, but what I've seen is Huda using these like massive fluffy brushes to kind of just dust away the excess. So let's see. Texture-wise, it's a bit drier than what I would expect, because I work with a lot of creamy dewy finishes, and I know you're supposed to do it like very like not over your highlighter and stuff, but to be honest, I was going for a bit of a matte look today anyway. I did a bit of the Becca as a tutorial thing, but I don't mind the matteness. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Finished look. Thank you everyone again for all the questions, and it has honestly been so fun. It might be a pain in the ass to edit, but let me just show you also what happens with this hair. I know it's still a bit damp, so you might not get the full effect, but it kind of, for my hair, that's curly. Like, that's curly, and it is gonna curl more as time goes on. And I've got the top here as well, so you just undo it as like this, taking it out, pulling your donut up and stripping it down. So there, see what I'm talking about? I'm gonna try and snapshot this, but well, later it's fine. Well, there we go, guys. A full get ready with me. I will probably take some photos of the day. I actually really like what that's done, and it gives my hair that right kind of glamour. I'm gonna maybe put some hairspray through it, maybe put in a bit more of that mousse hold spray. I was using the John Frieda one, the purple bottle, and I think that looks quite good. Ooh, that could actually work like a victory roll, but no, let's take it out. Let's take it out and shake it out. So here we are. This is the full and final look. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this very chatty get ready with me, and it's been super fun for me to film, and I think I've shown a few more things. Magnetic lashes are kind of a new thing, so hopefully I've put you ahead of the curve, and I'm quite happy with my curls. Right, guys, this has been super fun, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.